Yeah, good afternoon, students. Yeah, what is the last one we covered? Yeah, I covered chain on a table. Now today, let me cover some more concepts. Along with the concepts, let me cover the problems. Shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Respond
Yes,
now,
sir.
everyone. Yeah. Write down the heading. Good concept and problems also very good in this concept. Write down it. Block placed on block. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Placed on rear end, backside, rear end of a accelerated truck, of a truck. I am going to place the block at the backside of a truck. Yeah. See, they given a block which I am going to place at the backside of the truck. Let us suppose the truck is moving with an acceleration of something 80, otherwise A. So this is the truck. Yeah, see the truck moves with an acceleration A. Let us suppose truck is moving with an acceleration of A suffix T, T for truck. And I am placing a block here whose mass is M. Whose mass is M. For example, if you are standing at the backside of a truck, if the truck moves with an acceleration A, then what about your position? Will you stay at the same place or will you move back? You are standing at this position and the truck is moving with certain acceleration. If the acceleration is more, definitely you are going to fall backside because of some inertia and some other also. Indirectly, you are experiencing some force. Is a real force you are experiencing? Is anyone is applying a force on you?
Pseudo Force, sir.
Actually, no one is applying a force on you. That is not a real force. That is called as a virtual force. And that virtual force, we can call it as what? Pseudo force. Remember this name? Pseudo force. Pseudo force. So indirectly, this block experiencing pseudo force. PF I am writing. F suffix PF. Pseudo force. F suffix PM. PF. Pseudo force. Okay. So the block experiencing pseudo force, so this block will try to move backside. If this block will move back, then tell me which side the frictional force will act. Opposite to this motion?
Forward.
Yeah. Forward direction. Okay. Frictional force will act in this direction. For suppose, if pseudo force is less than frictional force, then tell me, will the block will move or not? Pseudo force is very
At
less.
rest, sir.
Yeah.
It will be moving forward only, sir.
Yeah, block is at rest on truck. Block is at rest on truck because pseudo force is very much less. So the block moves with along with the acceleration of truck. So we can find the pseudo force is, we can write it as m into 80 because the block also moving with an acceleration of the truck. If suppose pseudo force is equal to frictional force, then we know the block is ready to
Move.
if the pseudo force is equivalent to F, then the block ready to move. The block is ready to move. Okay. For suppose if let me write here. If pseudo force is greater than frictional force, then tell me now. If this is dominating, pseudo force is greater than frictional force, then this block move with acceleration of something A suffix B. B for block. Block moves with an acceleration of what? A suffix B. Clear? So there is an acceleration. Now in this case, see, the block is moving with an acceleration AB. Followed. Then find out the net force acting on the block. Net force acting on the block is pseudo force minus frictional force. What is the net force acting on the block? Pseudo force is backside minus frictional force. Net force acting on the block, we can write as MA, acceleration of the block. Net force acting on a block is M, acceleration of the block. Pseudo force is M into acceleration of the truck minus frictional force is mu mg. Frictional force is what? Mu mg. Mu n. N nothing but mg. So strike off this mass on both sides. Then we are getting acceleration of the block is acceleration of the truck minus mu g. This is the acceleration of what? Block. And that is equivalent to acceleration of truck minus mu g. Okay. And if they ask to find the relative acceleration, then we can find relative acceleration also. Relative acceleration is acceleration of the truck minus acceleration of the block, which is equivalent to mu g. Take this value right side and take this one left. Relative acceleration I am getting acceleration of the truck minus acceleration of the block. I got as mu g. Followed. Any confusion? Any confusion? Tell me now. Respond anyone? Arpita or any other? Is it okay concept? Tanusri? Got the acceleration of the block? Tell me. Any confusion here? Shall I continue? Shall I continue? Yeah, okay. See, okay. Navya Kumar, yes sir, okay, let me continue. I got the relative acceleration and see the block is moves with an acceleration of AB, and let us suppose the block is at a distance of something x from the rear end, from the back end. Block is at a distance of x from the back side. And see, once the block will reaches here, once the block will reaches the end point of the truck, it will have some velocity. It will pass with certain velocity. We can find that velocity very easily. Tell me how to find the velocity. You know, as the body falls freely, then you know the velocity of the body before going to reach the ground. V is equal to root 2gh. Remember, V is equal to root 2gh. 2g nothing but you can write acceleration of the block. And we can find V also. 2 acceleration of the block and distance is something x, because it covers how much? It covers how much? X. And we can find the time taken from here to here also. Time taken from this place to this place. If t is the time taken, we can find the time taken also. How much the distance it is covered? X. If t is the time taken, if t is the time taken to cover a distance of x, if t is the time taken to cover x, then we can write x is equals to half at squared, a nothing but acceleration of the block, t squared. Because both are starts from rest, s is equal to ut plus half at squared, u0, s nothing but x, half a nothing but acceleration of the block into t squared. Then what is the t? T is equals to root of 2x by a b. So t is equal to root of, is it visible downside? Respond it. Is it okay
Yes,
downside
sir.
visible? No. Then we can write t is equals to 2x by acceleration of the block is nothing but track minus ug. This is the time taken to cover a distance of x on track. Keep in mind. Completed? And see, observe one more point here. One more important point. When the block leaves the truck, okay, in this time interval, once the block will move backward, in this time interval, the truck also covers some distance or not? Will truck will cover some distance or not? Tell me.
Cover, sir.
Once
It
the
will
block
cover.
will comes here, once the block comes here, in this time interval, the truck also covers some distance, something s. Okay, some s in forward direction. Let us find what is that s. Okay, let us find what is that s value. So, is it completed written, everyone? Shall I repeat? See, truck covers a distance of s with an acceleration 80. Block covers a distance of x with an acceleration ab. Okay. Now let us use some s is equal to ut plus half at square. We can write s proportional to a because s and a only I am using because t is there. So let us use s proportional to a. Let me write something for understanding point of view. S1 by s2 is equal to a1 by a2. S1 if it is a block, if it is a block, it is x. S2 if it is a truck, s. A1 for a block, AB, A2 truck, AT, then S is equals to A T X by A B. Correct? S is equals to A T X by what is AB? AB is AT minus UG. So this is the equation for a truck. Distance traveled by the truck when the block leaves the truck in that time interval. Conditions apply, otherwise not possible. So this is the distance traveled by the truck when block leaves. When block leaves, keep in mind S is equal to ATX divided by AT minus mu G. Let us try one problem based on this. Shall I do problem or shall I go for next topic?
The problem.
Problem you give, sir.
Problem?
The problem, sir.
Okay. Then we will go for problem. Actually, I can start direct problems, but anyhow, sometime is there. Let us see the concept also. Directly problems also we can start. Means in a problem I need to apply the conceptual language, means conceptual knowledge. Maybe that may be complicated, not complicated, easy. Okay, I'll give one problem to you to try to solve this one. Find, write down. Find acceleration of the block, time taken by the block, distance traveled by the truck. Find acceleration of the block, time taken by the block to leave the truck, and the distance traveled by
Acceleration of block.
acceleration of the block. Find acceleration of the block. Completed?
Yes, sir.
Time taken by the block to leave the truck. Time taken by the block to leave the truck. And distance traveled by the truck in that time. Distance traveled by the truck in that time by using given data. By using the given data. So instead of writing so many stories, just I am giving data. By using given data. Take M is this. In this question number 1. Question number 2. Question number 3. I take 3 questions. See, I given shortcut question now. Question number 1. Truck moves with an acceleration of 2 meter per second square. Question number 2. Truck moves with an acceleration of 4 meter per second square. Question number 3. Truck moves with an acceleration of 6 meter per second square. 3 questions. You try to find it. Target is to find out A, B, T, S.
G10, no sir.
G10, no need to mention. Verify the first condition. -3 you are getting, but -3 is okay. -3 you are getting, I know. Verify the first condition. Everyone getting -3. What is that meaning of -3? Retardation.
Retardation.
Nothing but negative acceleration. Okay. That means is that block will move. Is that block will move if the truck moves with an acceleration of 2 meter per second square? Tell me, is the block will move or block is at rest? Tell me. Will it move? It never move. Verify for 4 meter per second square. Again, it never move. If it never move, there is no need to find out t value. There is no need to find out s value. First, you check the conditions. How much frictional force is acting and how much the pseudo force. What is the pseudo force? First, you find out pseudo force for first problem. Pseudo force for first problem. M into 80. What is M? 2. 80 is 2. How much you are getting pseudo force, everyone? Verify pseudo force first. All of you. Verify pseudo force. How much you are getting for first acceleration? Getting 4. 4 Newton.
Yes, sir.
Verify the frictional force between the block and surface. That is mu mg. Mu 0.5 to 10. How much you are getting? That means what? Which is greater? Frictional force is greater than pseudo force. That means is the block will move. Frictional force between block and surface is greater than pseudo force. Is the block will move on track? Is the block will have any acceleration? There is no acceleration. Of course, mathematically we are getting -3 wrong. -3, that is okay. Retardation, leave it. Is the block will accelerate? It will never accelerate. It will be static because frictional force is dominating. It is greater than pseudo force. So block does not slide for a first question. Write a word at the end. Block does not slide. Verify the second condition. Verify the second condition. Feel subject feel the problem properly?
For a second case also it is at rest, sir.
Very good. Second case also it is at rest.
Yes, sir.
May I know who is responding? May I know the name?
Sir Puneet.
Yeah?
Sir Puneet.
Okay. Anyhow, don't worry, within few days we are going to, means we'll teach you in a half line. That's the better way actually. Instead of this, that is very good. We'll enjoy a lot in the class, no doubt. You see.
Sir, for third one, pseudo force is greater than frictional force.
Excellent. Third one is moving with the acceleration AB. Then will you find a third case? Everyone, can you tell the answer in third case? Second case, what about the second case? Second case. Is the
Block
block
will
does not move because you are getting frictional force is again more than applied force. Sorry, pseudo force. Second case, block does not move. Coming to the third case, yes, it will move because you are getting pseudo force as a 12. That is greater than frictional force. This definitely block will move. If it move, then find out the acceleration. Second case does not move. Third case, yes, it will move with acceleration AB is equal to how much you are getting? Third case, 1 meter per second square. 1 meter per second square. Got 1 meter per second square? Tell me. Got 1 meter per second square. 6 minus 0.5 into 10. 1. Okay. Then find out the time. Use the formula. Time nothing but 2h by g. H nothing but x. By g nothing but acceleration of the block. Block formula t minus mu g. Then you will get how many seconds? 2 seconds. Check it. Get the distance. Tell me t value. Tell me.
Sir, your track will start from rest, sir.
Yeah. 12 meter anyone? Yeah, someone is saying 12 meter. Very good. Carry on. Good. Time. Time 1 second or 2 seconds? 2 seconds time. Check it. Very good. Chinmay is sending already 2 seconds. Very good. Okay. Let us move on to the next question. Be ready for the same type of questions. Because impossible to cover all the things in the class. By using this knowledge, you try to apply this knowledge for some other level of questions.
Sir, distance is 12 meters, sir.
Yeah, 12 meter. Very good. Okay, let me do one more concept. So far we are discussing blocks on horizontal surface only. Still we are not entered into the block on block concept. Generally block on block concept will helpful for some other level, some standard level questions. That also I will try to cover. No need to worry. So first, let us
it's
see.
there. First PUC itself, right, sir? Block on block concept.
It's there. Everything is there. Okay. Okay, there is no restriction in entrance syllabus. For a board, okay, we can cover friction in a matter of 1.5 hours. For a board syllabus. For a PUC purpose, I can cover your syllabus in a matter of 1 hour, 1.5 hours. For entrance, it's a ocean. Finally, I have to stop. That's it. Okay, because concepts are so many. If you open another book, you may find one more new formula. So concepts are so many. If you are thorough the concepts, definitely you will get some confidence in solving problems. And on heading, blocks placed against a vertical wall. Blocks placed against a wall. Against a vertical wall. Yeah. See, so far we placed block on horizontal surface. Now let us see. Block we have to place against a vertical wall. If this is the wall, I want to keep this duster on static on the board. Means so that I have to apply some force like this. If I apply a force, then this will be static on a board. So let us see how much the force I need to apply to that. See, there is a wall. See, this is the vertical wall having some coefficient of friction mu, and here I am going to press a block whose mass is m. Whose mass is m. Now to keep the block at rest, I need to apply force. I have to apply force like this. Then what is the weight of the block? Acts vertically downwards. Which side the frictional force will act? Upward. Is there any another force will act on a block? I have applied a force here. I have applied a force here. Tell me.
Normal force.
Very good. Normal reaction force will act. That is act perpendicular to the contact surface. Yeah. This is the normal reaction. This one. This is N. Indirectly, if you apply more force, there will be a more normal reaction. Okay. So force which is equivalent to normal reaction, that is equivalent to MA, because F is MA. And from the diagram, frictional force is balanced by what? Frictional force is balanced by mg. Got it? Frictional force is balanced by mg. This F nothing but mu n mg. What is n? N is ma. What is a? Acceleration of the block is how much? In vertical case, g by mu. In horizontal case, mu g. In horizontal case, mu g. In vertical case, g by mu. Easy thing. There is no tough. Acceleration of the block, if they ask you to find, you can use g by mu. If they given mu, direct we can write it. G by some value, 10 by some value, 0.5 something they will give. Okay. Now let us keep this block in between two hands. Press the block in between two hands. I'll keep this block in between two hands. Or you place a book in between two hands. Apply a force on the book. Let us suppose there is a block or a book, whatever maybe. See, this is the book. You can feel that a physics book or anything. Feel that physics book. Weight of the book mg. And here I am applying force here. Here also I am applying force here. And quite opposite to this, normal reaction. And what is this? What is this? Frictional force. What is this? Frictional force. What is F again here? F is balanced by N, that is balanced by MA. F is balanced by N balanced by MA. Tell me, upward how many forces are acting? Upward how many forces are acting?
2.
2 frictional forces. So shall I write 2 times of F balanced by mg? 2 times of F balanced
Yes,
by
sir.
mg, shall I write? Is it okay? 2 times of mu n balanced by mg. What is n? Ma. 2 mu ma is equal to mg. M gets cancelled. What is a? G by 2 times of mu. Is it visible downside? Anyone?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah. A is equal to, you got G by 2 mu. You got A is equal to G by 2 mu. Okay. Tell me, up to here is visible? Up to this part? See my hand?
Yes, sir.
then I will write up to here. Yeah, see one more here. Let us suppose they given one more block placed in front of a truck. Placed in front of a truck. See, this is the truck which is moving with certain acceleration A. Now I keep some block here whose mass is m, so that the block does not fall. So that the block does not fall. Means what acceleration has to maintain by the truck so that the block does not fall. If the acceleration of the truck is small, block will fall. If it moves with certain acceleration or greater than that certain acceleration, then the block will be static in front of truck. See, there are no screws and nuts are fitted to this. Just it is placed. If it moves very fast, then the block will in contact with the truck, because the block will experiences what? Because that block will experiences. Tell me, block will experiences pseudo force. Pseudo force or not? Because no one is applying a force on it. So once the truck moves with an acceleration A, it will experiences.
Sir,
Yeah.
is the block fixed to the truck?
No, it's not fixed. That's what I told. It's not fixed. It's not fixed. If the truck is moving with certain acceleration, then only the block will be static in front of the truck. If the truck moves slowly, what about the block?
Will fall down.
It will fall down. If it moves very fast or with certain acceleration, maybe there is a chance or not.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let us find that condition. Means with what acceleration that the truck has to move so that that block is in contact with truck. Got my point? What is our target? What's our target? Tell me. We need to find out acceleration of the truck so that that block is in contact with the truck. If the acceleration of the truck is very less, the block falls. Let us see for what acceleration, with what acceleration that the truck has to move. So again the same thing. This is F, pseudo force. This is what? Normal reaction. N is right side. So F balanced by N, F pseudo force balanced by N, nothing but MA. Same like the first concept. And weight of the block, mg, what is this? Frictional force. Again F is balanced by mg. F nothing but same steps that what I did in the first case, because this is also like a truck. Okay, mu n mg. Mu, what is n? ma mg. Okay, so a is equal to g by mu. If a greater than or equal to g by mu, tell me. Tell me, what are these conditions? If a greater than or equal to g by mu, that means what? Block?
Attach it to truck.
Attach it to the
Yeah, block attached to the
Truck.
in front of the truck. If a less than g by mu, block?
the block will fall.
Fall down.
Yeah, block will fall. Here the block is static. Block falls. Followed this one. Okay, something space is there. Let me do one more concept also. Concepts are so many, but you try to apply this concept in solving the problems. Not only our material, you try to solve problems from any type of material. Definitely this conceptual knowledge will help a lot. Okay, because impossible to cover all the problems in every time. You try to solve it. I can help you in concept wise. Not only this concept, in all variety of concepts from all the chapters. Let us see one more good concept. They given a hollow cylinder. They given a hollow cylinder, empty. Inside is empty, and inside the hollow cylinder, they placed a block. Inside the hollow cylinder, they placed a block. If the cylinder rotates, what about the block position? Will it be at the center or will it move away from the center?
Move away from the center.
Just you keep like this. See,
Away from.
they given a cylinder like this. Now the cylinder is rotating with angular velocity omega. Cylinder is rotating with angular velocity omega. Clear? Is the board is clear? Tell me. Otherwise, I will rub everything.
Clear, sir.
Clear.
Clear? Okay, then let me continue. Now I place a block here. If I place a block here, if it rotates with an angular velocity omega is called as angular velocity. So far you know linear velocity, v. Linear velocity nothing but rate of change of displacement. Linear velocity means rate of change of displacement. Angular velocity nothing but rate of change of angular displacement. Linear velocity you know, rate of change of displacement. Angular velocity we can represent with omega symbol, like a W, omega symbol. Rate of change of angular displacement, call it as angular velocity, omega. That is looks like a W symbol. Rate of change of angular displacement is nothing but angular velocity. Okay, let us place a block here whose mass is m. Then once the cylinder is rotates, then block experiences what type of force? Can anyone give the force name?
Rotational motion.
Pseudo force, very good. And one more, don't say rotational force. Okay. Pseudo force is correct answer. I think you know some basics in your lower classes. Do you know some different types of forces like centripetal force, centrifugal force?
Centrifugal force.
Yeah, you know the names I am asking. Centripetal force, centrifugal force.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Centripetal force means this is the force which always acts towards the center of the circle. From the circular path, okay? If anybody moving along the circumference of the circle, it will experience some force towards the center. That force is nothing but a centripetal force. And if the force which acts away from the center of circle, that force is called as centrifugal force. So there are two types of forces: centripetal force, centrifugal force. And there are some equations for centrifugal force also, that is there in a motion in plane chapter. I hope you covered already motion in plane. Chapter is over already for you. So mv square by r.
The rotation motion is not completed.
I am telling motion in plane. Motion in plane. Projectile motion. After projectile motion, just you open the NCRT. They given centripetal acceleration. There will come. There is a one formula for a centripetal acceleration. A is equal to v square by r. Is there? A is equal to centripetal acceleration. A is equal to v square by r. Just to open the NCRT.
Sir,
There is
the
a vector.
topic is not done for us, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, the topic is not explained, sir, for us.
Okay, no problem. So there is a formula. A is equal to v square by r. Okay, we will see in the other case also. A is equal to v square by r. Acceleration, centripetal acceleration formula. A is equal to v square by r. And one more formula is that v is equal to r omega. V is the linear speed, omega is the angular speed. Okay, let me write here. You will understand everything. So it experiences some force, and normal reaction is in this direction, and experiences force in this direction. That force is nothing but mv square by r. Otherwise, this force we can write it as mv square by r is correct. Otherwise, we can write mr omega square. Centrifugal force, equal and opposite to the centripetal force. Mr omega square. So n balanced by what? N is balanced by
Mr omega square.
keep in mind mr omega square. You keep in mind right now. Keep in mind that formula. Is it okay? Then this is what? Upward. frictional force. Downward, is it clear? Downward mg. Balance the two equations. F is equal to mg. Extend it. F is equal to mg. So F is equals to mg. F nothing but mu n mg. Mu, what is n? M r omega square mg. So omega square is equals to g by mu r. Let me write here. Omega is equals to root of g by mu r. So the cylinder has to rotate with this much angular velocity so that the block is at rest. So cylinder has to rotate with this much angular velocity. This is the angular velocity of the cylinder. Then in that situation, if omega is greater than root of g by mu r, the cylinder will be, the block will be static. If omega is less than root g by mu r, can anyone? If omega is less than root of g by mu r, it will fall down. And see, omega is nothing but rate of change of angular displacement. We can write omega as 2 pi by t. Basic formula, basic question that is. Omega is 2 pi by t. Wait, what is that t? What is that t? Tell me. Anyone remember the name like a time period? T is a time period, you know, time taken by the pendulum, complete one oscillation, something stories. T, capital T, time period.
Yes, sir.
Oscillations per 1 second. Number of oscillations per second is the time period, you know. That is frequency actually, not time period. Time taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation is time period. Don't worry, that will come in next SHM chapter. If I replace this omega as a 2 pi by t, then I will get the time period of the cylinder also. We can find time period of the cylinder also. See, this is the extension. Is it okay? Shall I write omega as a 2 pi by t? Shall I extend one more formula? Means if you write omega as a 2 pi by t, you will get one more formula. Let us see what is that one more formula. 2 pi by t is equals to root of g by mu r. What is the time period? 2 pi root of mu r by g. Time period of the cylinder. See, 4 different concepts are covered here. Use this knowledge and try to solve the problems. Yeah, completed this one. Write it.
Completed, sir.
Yeah. And see, by using this knowledge, you try to solve the problems from NCERT. See, finally, I got T is equals to 2 by root of mu r by g. Completed? See, so far what I covered, see some concepts. In the last one, I covered block. How many blocks? Only one block or two blocks I covered? See, so far I covered with only blocks on horizontal surface. Anyone remember the formula last class? If a applied force is, means if you apply any inclined pulling force, what is the condition for inclined pulling force? What is the minimum force needed to pull the block by applying some inclined pulling force? Remember the formula? Mu mg by cos theta plus what? Plus or minus? Tell me. Minus mu sine theta. If you substitute mu, you will get some formulas. Okay. Now let us see one more. For suppose, see the simple question. Very simple. Find force of friction on block as shown. Regulate this one. Something 2 kg. It is pulled with a So take this mu as a 0.5. This one, let us take it as something 8 kg. This is 20 Newton. Find the force of friction. Find the force of friction on a block. Simple question I am giving. 8 kg I given, that is pulled with a 20 Newton. Coefficient of friction is given just 0.5. Coefficient of friction is given 0.5.
The board is blurred, sir.
No, board is okay. Wait for 5 minutes almost now. See, is it okay? 8 kg. Okay, draw it. I'm telling you, 8 kg block is placed on horizontal surface. Draw 8 kg block on
20
horizontal
Newton.
surface. Yeah,
Sir, 20 Newton.
20 newtons. Very good. I'm asking force of friction. So what is the force of friction? F is equal to mu mg. Generally, I'm asking force of friction. Okay. F is nothing but mu mg. Huh? How much? Anyone getting other answer? 0.58 into 10. How much it is?
40.
40 Newton. How much the force I applied?
20.
Then tell me, if they given options like if they given the options like 20 Newton, 40 Newton, 60 Newton, 80 Newton. Tell me which option is correct.
20 Newton.
Anyone?
20 Newton.
Yeah, very good, excellent. 20 Newton is the correct answer. Don't expect as a 40 Newton. 40 Newton is the frictional force, but how much you applied? You applied is 20. We are applying only 20 Newton. So frictional force maximum development is 40 Newton. But we are giving only 20 Newton means how is the frictional force developed in between block and surface? Only 20. So the right answer for this question is only 20. It's not 40. Don't go for 40. There is a maximum chance of frictional force is 40. But with respect to this applied force, 20 only. If you apply this is 30. What is the answer? If you apply some 30 Newton force, what is the answer?
30 Newton friction.
30 Newton, 35 Newton, 39, 39 Newton, 40, 40,
40 Newton.
41.
40 Newton.
How it is 40 Newton? Tell me, man. 41
Sir,
Newton
that
I am
is
applying.
also limiting friction.
More than maximum means what about the block? You will get acceleration. Yeah. If I apply 41 Newton, what about the block? Move in the direction of force. Then what you have to do? Fr is equal to F minus small f. Then what will you get?
Acceleration.
Acceleration. Yeah, that's what. Acceleration is possible. Up to 40 Newton, only force of friction is possible. Once the force is more than frictional force, the block will slide. So you will get what? Acceleration. We can find acceleration and some other things. And we can apply this force by making something angle. Remember 37 degrees? You know the triangle 37? 3, 4, 5 triangle? Okay, 3, 4, 5 that we will see in offline only, not now. So let me stop this class. I hope maybe you are followed the concepts, sir. So once maybe from January 4th, I am available in offline classes for you. January 3rd or 4th, I am available in offline classes. Maybe your college will start from first or second? First.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, first or second. Then I am available from 4th of January and I will continue from here onwards. I hope that up to here is okay. Are you followed? Okay. Are you followed my language?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Then we will solve the problems also because the books are given to you. I am going to cover the concepts. You try to solve the problems from your book. Any one thing. Otherwise, I will solve the problems by using the conceptual knowledge because I know the concepts. But impossible to cover all concepts and all problems. Okay, if I teach all problems and all concepts, it will take 2 years. Already it's too late syllabus. Okay, by this time, we have to reach at least enter into the rotated motion by this time. But no problem. From January 4th, I will continue your syllabus and I will finish your syllabus within the time. No need to worry. Okay, with all variety of concepts I am going to cover, and problems also I am going to cover. Okay, so thank you. I will meet you on 4th of January. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Right.